With the left, the New York Times apparently doesn't believe him, writing this headline, Donald Trump wants to raise your taxes. So is taking money from the government and then putting it back in the hands of the private sector really going to hurt the average American? Here to weigh in is CPA Daniel Geltrude. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So this is important. I mean, this is what people need to know. It impacts their daily lives. Let's take a look at this quote specifically from this New York Times article. It says that Trump and his allies are feverishly trying to claim their plan would benefit the middle class. Their latest talking point, the notion that corporate tax cuts will create an indirect windfall for workers. Funny, though, how the wealthy get most of the direct benefits while everyone else has to hope for indirect ones somehow to materialize. True or false?
I think it's false.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is it's the automatic fallback if we're talking about tax reform to say the rich are going to benefit, they're not paying their fair tax. However, the Office of Management and Budget just came out with a report last week that the top 20% of wage earners are paying 95% of the federal income tax right now. I think that's more than their fair share. You only have 5% of the tax base being paid by 80%, and half of them don't pay any income tax.
So if they pay less, how does that trickle down and impact and benefit everyone?
If the rich are paying less,
right,
if that's the position that's going to be taken, although we don't know that because the plan hasn't been finalized.
Right. But everybody already has an opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll know on Wednesday when the plan actually comes out. The automatic thought process here is those high wage earners are the employers. The more that they have in terms of their disposable income and money available, they're going to be able to employ more people and put more people to work in order to expand their businesses. Right.
So create jobs, put more money in people's pockets.
Absolutely.
How is it that we hear such drastic difference in opinions as to, whether or not that actually helps people?
It really comes down to this. Most people don't understand the tax code, and the tax code is notorious for picking winners and losers. That doesn't have to be the case. In my judgment, when you're talking about tax cuts across the board, everyone benefits, because if there's more money in our pockets, all of us, that's what's going to stimulate the economy, and that's what we need. This is really an economic plan, not a tax plan.
So being, more competitive with the corporate tax rate.
Corporate tax rate, really important. Right now, we're at 35%, one of the highest in the world. How could we possibly be competitive on the world stage? Taking it down to 20%, which is what the proposal is right now, is going to allow corporations to get jobs back to the American people. It's a natural process.
And simplifying the tax code, as you were just talking about.
That has to happen because, quite frankly, it's too old and it needs repair.
All right. Thank you.